So it appears that Gaijin has given us a community update, which is something that I deeply enjoy seeing, given that this adds a level of transparency that we haven't really had since, well, before a couple of years ago. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And to confirm, we also have a rough estimate of when this next major update is going to be dropping, which is a given. It's around September, of course, which happens every single year and has for the last 10 years that I've played this game. But at the very least, we don't have to go with the whole update when now. Oh, and before we go ahead and do get started with today's topic, please keep in mind this is a talking head video, which means you're not going to be seeing some awesome gameplay. I'm just reusing some old footage from some of my previous videos because I didn't have enough time to really get some for this, as by the time you are watching this, I should be in the middle of my Battlefield 6 stream, which you should totally tune in, and I think the drops are still enabled. Totally not a plug for my Twitch stream. Yeah, I promise. And of course, everything you're going to be hearing about today is going to be based off the note I have right here and also my own personal opinions. If you happen to agree or disagree with it, feel free to let me know in the comment section. But rest assured, this blog has some pretty interesting things that have warranted a video release from me, at least for this type of stuff. And so with that being said, let's get started. Now, I'll spare you guys the intro, of course, and just read you the disclaimer they have for us. While we're excited to share work in progress information before the dev blogs, the dev server and the full release, please bear in mind that new features, vehicles, and maps mentioned in this news are subject to change, be delayed, or even canceled. This is true. Gaijin has done that. You know, R73, etc. is a good example where they brought it in, they did take it away shortly after, and didn't bring it in until the very next update. And do keep in mind, we have 3 updates before the year's out. One in September, another in, I believe in October, and another in December/January. I say January because they might delay the update like they did previously, but you never know. But this one is good, actually. I have to talk about this whole secret document stuff. If you guys want to grab it, this link, which by the way, I have everything listed down below in the description if you guys want to click on it. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, of course. You can get the secret documents decal, which is awesome. And I know it's pretty insane having to explain to your friends and family what War Thunder is. I used to tell them, hey, so I play that game where, you know, it's tanks and that, you know, it's basically the better version of World of Tanks. That's a funny opinion of mine, of course. And they usually get it, but now I just say, oh, it's that game where everyone leaks secret military documents on, and they just go, oh, it's that game. Yeah, all the time, I shit you not. But I'm glad to see Gaijin be a very good sport about it. It's a free decal, of course. I have the old one. You do get a new one as well. I think you get both, or it just, yeah. There's the code, no secrets inside, all capitalized. You get to click here and it takes you to your redemption page, and boom, you're good to go. And trust me, I do use it, and it is hilarious to see people's reaction to it. Scrolling down just a little bit, we have, of course, the a little paid deal too, which I'm not a huge fan of this kind of stuff, to be honest, but it kind of is what it is. I might pick this up for myself because, you know, I'd like a good frame, and I think this is a great one too for $3, $4. Not bad. You can still use my 3% discount and save a little bit of money, but do you really want to use a 3% discount on $4? I say yes because it supports me, but it's up to you. Now, scrolling down just a little bit further, new tank modules. That's the big thing we're going to be talking about, of course. They're continuing to add the updated internal modules for vehicles that don't currently have them for the T-64, T-80, and they also said the rest of the autoloading vehicles, T-72s, T-90s, Chinese vehicles. And the autoloader will be refined, a new element reflecting the conveyor mechanism added above the turret ring. This new element will retain the same functionality as the autoloader that we have today, of course. It'll effectively make it easier for the autoloader system to be disabled. That's a big thing. Although I still think if you shoot the autoloader, it should disable the turret ring entirely. That might actually happen. The vertical and horizontal drive modules have also been refined and are now more accurate, and in general will take up a little bit more, or a little more space inside the tank. So meaning that if you likely shoot at the autoloader, it should possibly disable the turret ring, much like how you would find with the Leopards, Abrams, because let's be honest, those things are toilet paper. You shoot at them, you effectively disable the vehicle in its entirety. But here's the before and after. I can see what they did here. Yeah. Okay, this I can approve of. Really, I can. I love my Russian tanks. I'm a Russian main, of course, but this was a little bit too OP in my opinion. As well as all T-72s, T-90s, etc. as I already mentioned. New naval feature coming soon. I'm not gonna really talk much about this. I'm not the right person for it. If you guys want to, you can go look at Napalm Rat, as he's the only one I know who does content for naval, and I know some people view him as a little bit controversial, but he's a really cool guy if you get to know him. More fuel dumping, which is going to be awesome. They're going to expand it to the Gripen, F-15, F-16, F-18. I haven't done it, to be honest. I know it's pretty good against you know, IR missiles, but in truth, do you really want to waste your fuel doing that? I mean, that's just me. But then again, I accidentally bring out full fuel for a lot of my aircraft, so this might come in pretty handy. AMRAAMs for the F-16s, reviewing your feedback on the Italian F-16 ADF. They will expand the arsenal to include AIM-120s. They didn't say which variant, of course. So they're going to bring in the AMRAAMs for the Italian F-16 ADF, US F-16 ADF, and Chinese, the MLU. So cool. Hey, to those who actually dropped those reports in, you guys are awesome. And the next one is pretty big. Nuclear carriers. This one has me excited because I don't understand why we have the Jaguar and Su-7 at top tier with no countermeasures to speak of. They're pretty slow, except for the Su-7. I think it's pretty okay for the most part. But they're going to be bringing on from 11.3 onwards the F-111F and the Tornado and Su-24M. And they will be having more modern RWRs and countermeasure systems compared to the current top jets delivering nukes. This, oh man, I love dropping nukes in these planes because it's such a rewarding experience. But man, having no flares, if they already can count like, hey, we know he's gonna get a nuke, let's just jump out and kind of air camp him a little bit, which happens more often than you think, especially to me. Yeah, this is gonna be a nice change, which should allow us to actually drop our nukes. But do keep in mind, you still want to hug the dirt as much as you can. This is going to work well against IR-based missiles like, you know, R-73s, AIM-9s, etc. Radar UI improvements. I didn't really read too far into this. I just pressed CR and I'm good to go. More convenience visuals and controls for aircraft radar systems. You know, I'm probably not the best person to talk about this kind of stuff, so here is the post, or you guys can wait for more experienced pilots to talk about this, such as Defin, etc. Oh yeah, looking more into this, I am definitely not the right person to talk about it. So if you want more info, read into the description, click that link, look into it yourself, shall we? Now, more detailed helicopter cockpits. This doesn't really interest me too much. I know it does for my sim pilots out there. And do keep in mind, if you've been watching individuals like Bruce Leroy, of course, brilliant helicopter pilot, he basically uses VR headset to control his gun in any setting from GRB to even sim. So having a high fidelity cockpit to have some eye candy is always welcomed, though I don't view it as like a critical thing for the time being. And I'm sure this opinion is not going to sit well with too many, but don't get me wrong, aesthetics are beautiful in War Thunder, okay? So this I'm looking forward to. Nice, actually the Comanche looks very good. Mi-8s? Oh, dude, I'll be honest, I don't know how you guys can do it. Like if you're actual pilots, actual helicopter pilots, like there's so many buttons. I'm sorry, it's just, gosh, a typical American thing, right? 3 buttons to start my car and boom, we're good to go. Scrolling down a little bit further, this is actually really nice. Vehicles, here we go. With all major updates, we have a range of vehicles coming into the game. This is big. You're gonna want to really pay attention to what I'm gonna be saying in this one, okay? For ground forces, they plan to add new SAM vehicles for nations who did not receive them in the previous major update. Not that some of them needed it, as you'll see shortly. Great Britain, USSR, did not need one, I think. They still don't, because the Pantsir is still amazing. Italy and France, meaning all nations will now have a new SAM. Italy's a big one because their top anti-air right now is still either the OSA or the automatic. I think the automatic is still the top dog, which is kind of pathetic if you think about it. I've only seen that thing out maybe a handful of times since this update dropped, which kind of says a lot about its performance. But here's the biggest one I think is going to be awesome. Japan is going to be getting a ground forces tree update in the form of Thailand's tanks, or Thai tanks. Yes, not TIE fighters, Thai tanks. Since they lack domestic options in several areas of the tree, Thailand will spruce up the tree with more variety and will add more options to some lineups. So they've already mentioned what they're going to be adding, like the Commando Stingray, also for the USA, which is nice. Another M60 TTS 163, and we are plotting one more tank too. If you know what I mean. And that one has me excited. I mean, uber excited. You have to keep an eye out for this one. And of course, other vehicles are coming, aircraft that sting, tanks, helicopters, and naval vessels. But we don't want to spoil everything, which is fine. Please, no leaks. Don't leak these. Just let us have a surprise. Okay, I hate the leaks. Next event vehicles, current aircraft is the F-106A, which apparently the missile on it sucks, but it's still fun to have it. Let's see. In the next update, we're going to be having the high seas with naval, going back to the high seas with naval content featuring a German ship battle cruiser, which will be interesting. I wonder what that can be. I actually collect the naval stuff too, so do keep that in mind. We'll also be diving into the water while floating with an amphibious American tank. Did we just get one? Okay, that I can appreciate. Here's another big change that I think needed to be said. Okay, this one needed to happen. Let's see. In the future, we're planning on some changes on how spawn points work for aircraft in ground realistic and naval arcade RB. So basically, in short, what all this means is that spawn points will now be based off the munitions you bring out and not just the aircraft. A good example of this at top tier is the Su-30-34, because since they share a different SP pool, you were able to bring out a fully loaded 38 MT Su-30, throw out your ammunition. Once you get destroyed, you can bring out an Su-34 with the exact same type of ammunition and do the exact same thing, all at a reduced point cost. This should change it, which is going to be very nice. Let's see. If you spawn an aircraft with bombs, the cost to spawn another aircraft equipped with bombs increases, even if the class is not the same. There will effectively be two types of aircraft spawns in regards to SP: fighters, aircraft of any class equipped with air-to-air missiles, or no additional weaponry at all, and aircraft equipped with strike weapons, bombs, rockets, AGMs, torpedoes, mines, AP piercing belts. So I hope that made sense. Overall, this changes the SP cost of additional aircraft spawns from a class-based system to a weapon-based system. This, again, has been needed for a while now since the Su-30 first came into the game. And going forward, of course, we have scouting through scout UAVs. In short, we will now be getting the ability to scout tanks, albeit at a reduced refresh time for each of the scouts, through the actual drone itself. And if you have the drone out in general, it should be the same thing if you try to cheese it like I kind of do at times, where if you mark a target and you go into your binos, you can scout the vehicle through the entire map. I thought it was a broken issue. I guess Gaijin knows it and they understand it works for us. And now they've made it where you can still do that, albeit at a reduced SP discount for your aircraft, as well as a longer cooldown. And when I say longer, I mean it's 3 times as big. And the spawn point reduction for aircraft will be decreased by 2 times as well. In truth, I've been doing this to get out my CAS capable aircraft for the last couple of videos. Is it cheesy? Yes, to be honest. But I'm glad Gaijin is doing something to fix it. Clarification regarding the 5th gen aircraft. In short, they're going to be releasing possibly 5th gen aircraft around the second half of next year. So don't expect F-22s, F-35s, Su-47, 57, etc. until sometime near the end of next year. And before I lose my voice, that's it. Yeah, that's everything for this major update. I do apologize if this video was a bit long. I did my best to make it as short as I could. But this is awesome. I'm looking forward to many of the changes coming into War Thunder. New generation aircraft, new vehicles. The T-84 op lot is probably coming into the game as part of the Japanese tech tree. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Please engage in discussion in my comment section. I will jump in whenever I can, of course. Again, it's going to be a long stream for Battlefield 6, and I look forward to seeing you guys there as well. So with all that being said, again, I hope you did enjoy this talking head video, and I will see you not only in the next one or even the stream, but most certainly in some of the new changes coming to War Thunder in the next major updates. I'll see you next time.